You are not going to get rich with online betting. On the contrary, if nothing changes, it's very likely that you'll lose money, peace of mind, and in many cases, your emotional health. It can be hard to hear that, I know. You might even think, oh, but with me it's different. I know what I'm doing. I'm in control. But answer me, even if only in your head, how many times have you already lost more than you could afford and told yourself, just one more bet to win it back? How many times have you closed the app annoyed, promising it would be the last time? And a few hours later you were there again, scrolling through the odds on your phone. The addiction to online betting today is not an individual problem, it's a collective phenomenon. Screens are full of promises of easy money, influencers saying you just have to follow the right group, showing screenshots of huge winnings as if that were the norm, when in reality it's the exception. And there's an important detail. Betting companies were not created for you to win. They were created to profit off people like you and me. That's not an opinion, it's a business model. In the short term, of course, you can win. You can probably even remember a specific bet where you made a lot of money. That one time when everything felt magical, as if the universe were conspiring in your favor. But it's exactly that stroke of luck that traps you. What hooks you is not only losing, it's winning once in a while. Because when you win, your brain records, this works, this feels good, do it again. And then, without noticing, you start entering a cycle. You lose, you try to recover, you lose more, you win a little, you get excited, you lose everything again. Meanwhile, the house keeps making a profit, little by little, with every click, with every odd you accept, without realizing that the rules of the game were never made to favor the player in the long run. This video is an invitation for you to face this reality without filters, not to humiliate you, not to treat you as weak, but to show you that there is a logic behind this addiction, a mathematical, emotional, and neurological logic. If this makes sense to you as you watch the video, share it with someone who is trapped in betting or flirting with this world. Because the problem with bets is not only the money that goes away, it's the wasted time, the anxiety, the guilt, the lies, the feeling that you've lost control of your own life. From now on, we're going to break this trap down step by step. And the more you understand how it works, the harder it will be for it to control you. Before we talk about the brain, dopamine, and addiction, we need to understand something very simple. Betting is not a neutral field. It's not you against the universe. It's you against a company that calculates every detail to have a statistical advantage over you. It works more or less like this. When you watch a soccer match, for example, you see an open score, two teams may be a favorite. When the betting company looks at the same match, it sees probabilities, statistics, history, individual player performance, weather, fatigue, injuries. Everything turned into numbers. That information becomes what you know as the odd. That number that shows how much you win if you get it right. But hidden in there is a margin that guarantees that when you add up all the bets from thousands of people, the one who ends up winning in the end is always the house. You may even think you're being strategic. I only bet on easy games. I only go in when the odd is good. I understand football better than these guys. The problem is that this same reasoning is going on in the heads of thousands of other bettors at the same time. And guess who uses all that collective intelligence in its favor? The house itself, by adjusting the odds so that, regardless of the result, it has a guaranteed percentage. But it's not just math. There's a powerful psychological trick here, the illusion of control. You start to believe you're winning because you're smart, because you read the game well, because you've been following the league since you were a kid. And when you lose, it's not because the system is built to drain you, it's because it was bad luck, it wasn't your day, the referee robbed you, the player messed up. You always find an explanation that allows you to keep betting. It's as if your brain was saying, if I analyze it better next time, I can do it. But you never stop to look at the big picture. You remember the big wins, but forget the sum of the small losses. You take screenshots when you win, but not when you lose. You post when things go well, but suffer in silence when you crash. This is not a lack of intelligence. It's a natural bias of our mind. We tend to remember what makes us feel good and erase or minimize what hurts. And betting companies know how to exploit this like no one else. So just to be clear, winning one bet or another is completely possible. What is practically impossible is winning consistently for a long time inside a system designed to take money from you little by little. When you understand this, you start to realize that the problem is not just having self-control. The problem is trying to have self-control inside a game where all the variables were created to make you lose control. Now we come to the part that, as a psychologist, I most want you to understand, because this is where addiction settles in the brain, silently. Every time you bet, a chemical process happens inside your head. That's not a metaphor, it's literal. There is a region in your brain linked to reward, pleasure, to I want more. When you see a chance to make quick money, when you see a high odd, when the game is on and you feel that rush of adrenaline, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to motivation and the feeling of anticipation. Look how interesting. Many times the peak of pleasure doesn't come when you win, but before, when you think you're going to win. It's the anticipation, the possibility of profit, that makes everything so exciting. And here's the problem. That wave of dopamine rises fast and drops fast. When you win, you feel powerful, intelligent, special. When you lose, you feel anger, frustration, shame. In both cases, the brain finds the same solution. Do it again. If you win, you play again to repeat that amazing feeling. If you lose, you play again to try to erase the pain of having lost. Notice how, regardless of the result, the path your mind finds is always the same. Bet again. Over time, your brain gets used to these dopamine surges. What used to be new now becomes a need. You start to need more bets, more risk, more intensity to feel the same pleasure as before. That's how addiction is born. It's not just really liking to bet. It's losing the ability to stop, even when you already know you're harming yourself. And the effects go far beyond your bank balance. Guilt, anxiety, irritability, insomnia, difficulty focusing on other things start to appear. You begin to lie to the people you love, hide bills, avoid looking at your bank statement, make up excuses to justify the lack of money. Little by little, betting stops being fun and turns into a desperate attempt to relieve an inner pain. The game becomes emotional anesthesia. And there's one more point almost no one talks about. Not everyone has the same vulnerability to addiction. Some people can place a bet once a month and stop. Others bet twice and are already falling into a bottomless pit. That has to do with life story, genetics, unresolved emotions and difficulties the person already carries. The problem is that when a betting ad pops up, it doesn't say, "Careful, if you're more prone to addiction, this can destroy your life." It shows luxury, cars, trips, smiling people, as if it were a ticket to a better life. But for many people, it's the doorway to very serious emotional crises. When we understand that addiction is a disorder and not a lack of shame or willpower, the conversation changes. Instead of blaming, we start looking at what's behind it. Pain, loneliness, lack of perspective, a desperate need to feel that life still has some chance of turning things around. If you've made it this far, there's something very important about you. A part of you wants to understand, wants to change, wants to regain control, and that alone is already a huge step. I won't lie, getting out of a betting addiction is not simple, but it is totally possible. And it starts with an inner decision to stop lying to yourself. First step, recognize that the problem exists. As long as you keep saying, "I can stop whenever I want," when you've already tried to stop several times and couldn't, you're trapped in an illusion. Look honestly at these questions. Have you ever spent money you couldn't afford to lose on betting? Have you ever skipped paying a bill to try to win back what you lost? Have you lied to someone about how much you bet or lost? Have you tried to cut down or stop and couldn't? If several answers are yes, this isn't just betting for fun, this is already controlling you. Second step, put up external barriers, because relying only on willpower is asking to fall. Some ideas: delete betting apps from your phone, block betting sites in your browser, avoid groups and profiles that talk about betting on social media. Tell someone you trust what's going on so you don't fight this alone. Third step, seek professional help. Psychotherapy is not a luxury, it's a tool for emotional survival. A psychologist can help you understand what betting is covering up in your life. Anguish, frustration, a sense of failure, self-esteem issues, lack of meaning. Because the question is not only how do I stop betting, but what am I going to fill this emptiness with when I stop? If you know someone who is stuck in this cycle, avoid judgmental speeches like, "Just stop." You gamble because you want to. That only increases guilt and pushes the person further away from getting help. Instead, you can say, "I'm worried about you. You don't have to face this alone. Shall we look for help together?" And here's a direct invitation for you who are watching this video to the end. Before putting more money into any bet, spend a few minutes thinking about what we talked about today. Think about the times you walked away feeling like trash after losing. Think about the people who care about you and have no idea what's going on. Think about the future you want to build. Betting may give you a momentary rush, but living a life aligned with what you really want is a much safer bet, and it doesn't depend on luck. If this video helped you see things more clearly, if it made you feel less alone, I ask you for two things. First, take care of yourself. Take seriously what you're feeling. Seek help. Write in the comments if you want to get it off your chest. And second, share this content with someone you know who is getting into this world or is already trapped in it. Here on this channel, the idea is not to judge you, but to walk alongside you in building a healthier, more conscious and freer mind. Subscribe, leave a like so this topic can reach more people. And most of all, remember, your life is worth far more than any bet.